Lynx that still holds the outright world helicopter speed record. The Lynx is in service with both the Army Air Corps and the Royal Navy. The easiest way to differentiate between the two was the undercarriage, this being the Army version skid. Perfect for work on Salisbury Plain without sinking into the grass too much, whereas the Navy version had wheels and casters, just the type of thing you need for turning it around and around on a very small flight.
Yeah, that was the raison d'etre, really, or one of them, certainly, of the Lynx in Royal Navy service. It was operation from the Royal Navy's smaller ships. And indeed, the team behind, based on the earlier Lynx 3 project. They were the last Lynx in UK military service, with the Army Air Corps retired in 2018. Mark 7s like this were phased out in 2015. The Royal Navy's Mark 8s followed in 2017.
And indeed, this aircraft replaced in service by a very similar looking aircraft. It is similar looking, it is very, very different to Wildcat, where both the Army and the Navy versions are casters.
Yes, indeed. We were, of course, to have seen the Wildcat in action later with the Royal Navy Black Cat helicopter team. Unfortunately, for reasons various, that's not possible, so we'll be seeing another helicopter with cast-ring wheels, the Westland 1, instead. And it's nice to have that on the same programme as this Lynx. In use with the Army Air Corps, the battlefield Lynx could carry up to 12 troops, an internal cargo of up to £2,000 or an underslung load of £3,000. Key to it was the armament, 8 so-called tows, huge-launch, optically tracked, wire-guided anti-tank missiles, added to by door-mounted guns. Too, it must be said, it's often forgotten, I think, during the first Gulf War in 1991, the Army and the Navy used the Lynx to significant effect. On one day, February 1991, an Army Lynx destroyed 2 Iraqi armoured personnel carriers with 4 T-55 tanks, and that was the first ever operational employment of the tow missile. Many historic helicopter types then bought it. He intended it to be literally a garden ornament, a static showpiece in his garden at home. But he then decided on the return to flight project, wheeled aviation at all wheels towards it. It took the air in a hover for the first time in December 2021, and its first proper full flight was on the 14th of February last year, and it embarked on its display career as a 15th. A large number of these manoeuvres is very high altitude for a Lynx, so we'll talk about its operational role very much with navigator, trees or those of them. The only way to survive on the battlefield, very low, out of sight, low. Get targeted information from the Gazelle, largely in this case. It was, of course, the then Augusta Westland built Apache that took over from the Lynx. Yeah, I think that's a lovely. And in fact, that very airframe survives and can be seen on display at the Helicopter Museum in Westland-super-Mare. It's just over 400 kilometres an hour, the Lynx achieved, G-Lynx being the registration of that helicopter. It had new rotor blades, it had upgraded gem engine. As I say, it still holds those records. It has always been apparent that this is a brilliant performer because the development Lynx broke helicopter world speed records as far back as 1972 as well. Following on from the exploits I mentioned in the first Gulf War, later Army Lynx were participants in the multinational interventions in the Balkans during the 1990s, again in Iraq in 2003, from 2006 they were active